MTG Scoundrels, it's in the cardboard. Ladies and gentlemen, scoundrels of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Modern Weekly. Today on the docket, we have Jund Insidious Roots versus Blue Black Mill. Looks like Blue Black Mill going to 6 here. Starting with a fetch shock for the Jund Roots deck. And there is the archive trap. That's what happens. Nothing like that first fetch into an archive trap. A modern tale as old as time. Milling 13 here. And a surgical extraction. Going to 17-18. Pulling out the copies of the Underworld Cookbook, it looks like. Really one of the main engines of this deck. Looks like the Jund Roots player has an Asmo in hand and a Street Wraith. So that was a solid call going for the surgical immediately on that cookbook, because one was coming with that Asmo. Of course, doing the due diligence of looking through the deck there. Now, after all this shuffling, still the Jund Roots player's turn. Looks like taking 2, cycling the Street Wraith, drawing a card, casting the Asmo, bringing us to 15-18. And a Hedron Crab, passing the turn. There's the Urza Saga into a Shadow Spear. Attacking for 3, bringing us to 15 all. Misty Rainforest, Kraken. Probably finding a watery grave here. Yep, there it is, bringing us to 15-12. More importantly, 2 Hedron Crab triggers, milling 6. Urza Saga going to 2. There's the Fatal Push, taking care of the Asmo at the beginning of combat. Here is a Visions of Beyond, drawing 3 in this case. Plays a land, mill 3, fetching. Finding an island, bringing us to 15-11. Milling 3 more. And there's a Fraying Sanity. There's a Fractured Sanity, excuse me. Looks like we have a little bit of confusion here. Maybe milled one too many cards. In this case, of course, always call a judge, being that the top card was revealed. Ultimately here we decided to shuffle and move forward. But generally, don't mill more than what you're supposed to. Alright, on the end step, making a card construct here. Putting 2 daredevils into hand. Making another card construct. Going and searching, seeing if there's anything to go grab. Looks like there is still a Mishra's Bauble in that small library. There's a Saga. Attacking in. Looks like for 4. Sending us to 15-7. And there is a Jace. Jace the Perfected Mind, of course, being arguably the most played Jace at this point. And that'll move us to game 2. Jace finishing off the milling job there. Thank you all so much for watching. Appreciate all the support you guys have shown for us here at MTG Scoundrels. As always, you can check the description below for timestamps for all the games of the match, as well as deck lists for each player today. And if you're interested in finding some high quality tokens, check out our friends and one of the players in our community, Arcane Artistry. Link below. The Jund Roots deck, of course, being popularized by Aspiring Spike, and here being piloted by our good friend Alex. If there's an artifact deck of some sort, Alex will play it, almost guaranteed. And of course, we have Jacob here. This week on Blue-Black Mill, sometimes plays Rakdos Scam, Mono Black Scam, Is it Murktide, things of that nature. Could see Mill bring in a few more removal pieces. Could also see really the Jund Roots deck add a couple more cards out of the board just to mess with the math a little bit of how many cards are being milled over. All right, moving on to game 2 here. Looks like both players going to 6. There's the fetch. There's the archive trap. Once again, a tale as old as time. We'll be going to 17-20. And milling some cards over. We'll see if there is a follow-up surgical extraction here, though. Some people say there are 2 burn decks in the format. Of course, burn in general. The other just being 60 card burn in the form of Blue-Black Mill. There are the cards mulled over. milled over, excuse me. Sometimes probably just also being like mulling over, why did I have to play mill today? But that's okay. Mill is a wonderful deck. Keeps people honest in the format. There's a Mishra's Bauble. Catching that bauble trigger. One nice thing about being a DRC deck in this case, because I cast the Dragon's Rage Channeler, is it's mostly a 3/3. Thanks to Mill just doing what it does. Here we are, we see it attacking for 3 here, casting another one, untapping and drawing, island, it's also an Urza's Saga on the field for the Jund Roots player. It looks like it was a pass. Saga triggers, another land into play. And looks like there's a fatal push on the DRC before combat. Attacking for 3, bringing us to 17-14. Pass of the turn here, leaving up the Urza Saga activation. There is a crab, there is a land, mill 3. And there's a Fractured Sanity. Of course, here looks like the Fractured Sanity being cycled, just milling 4. End step, making a construct. Artifact coming into play, bringing the Oval Chase Daredevils to hand. And an interesting spot here. Looks like going ahead, making another construct. Searching. Finding a cookbook. Construct's currently 3/3s. Making a food. And now, attacking in for 7, Construct being a 4/4. Bringing us to 17-7. Land, mill 3. Fetching, bringing us to 17-6. For an island, mill 3 again. Real question is, does the mill player have removal for the current board state? I mean, there's a Tasha's Hideous Laughter. That is pretty solid against the Jund Roots list. We apologize, the glare's a little off here. Tasha's Hideous Laughter, of course, making you mill till you hit a certain amount of CMC. There is an Urza's Saga. An activation of the Underworld Cookbook. Getting another food. And attacking in for everything. Of course, drew the Ensnaring Bridge a little late. But that evens things up. Tied at 1 game apiece, moving on to game 3 here. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, be a friend, tell a friend, like and subscribe. All the semantics. Let us know what you would like to see in future videos. We have heard from some of you about wanting to see Goryo's reanimator lists in the possible future. We'll see what we can do to bring that to you when we can. Moving on to game 3 here, looks like Root's going to 5. There's an island into a crab. Ruined crab, looks like. Overgrown Tomb, taken 2. Bringing us to 18 to 20. The classic Seed of Hope play. Seed of Hope, one of the underrated cards to come out of March of the Machine this past year. Another crab. Turbo Mill unlocked. There's a fetch. Tale old as time. Archive trap. Looks like going to 17 here for the untapped stomping ground. All right. There's a lightning bolt to kill a crab. Into, yeah, it looks like that's a haywire mite. Untapping, drawing. Visions of Beyond. Not quite enough to draw 3 cards, just drawing 1 here. Polluted Delta, milling 3, and then 3 more off the fetch. Finding the Watery Grave. Playing another Visions of Beyond, this time drawing 3 cards. And passing the turn. There is Inti. One of the best cards to come out of Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Triggers on the attack, putting a counter on the Haywire Mite after discarding. Playing the Mishra's Bauble, bringing back a couple of Oval Chase Daredevils. Cracking the Bauble. It looks like missed the Bauble trigger, unfortunately. There's the Fatal Push for the Haywire Mite, bringing us to 19 to 15. Attacking, Inti trigger, discarding a card. Looks like there's a cookbook. Bringing us to 19 to 12. Playing the cookbook. Triggering the Oval Chase Daredevil. Making a food. Playing an Isle Spell Bomb. Looks like playing a Shadow of Doubt here. Untapping. I believe there was also a missed Inti trigger. There's an Ensnaring Bridge. Drawing for turn. Yep, looks like discussing that Inti trigger. Cookbook activation, triggering Inti. Creating another food. Putting Daredevil back in hand. Ooh, pick your poison. Getting rid of the Ensnaring Bridge, not a bad play at all. And attacking in, trigger. Taking the 4, going to 8. Playing the Urza Saga for land for turn. Playing another Cookbook and passing. There's an island. Milling 3. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Hitting a lot of that Roots library. Discarding Inti trigger. Creating more food. Saga trigger. Not a lot left in the library here. Alright. Making another food. Inti trigger. Doing the job for the mill player. But you just got to try to make enough stuff here to try to get them. As they say. They being aggro players. There is an asmo. Which can kill off a crab. And does so. I don't think there's really a way out here. There's one card in the library. We just need one. Yep, before on the combat, there before combat, killing the Inti with the Fatal Push. And there's the mill spell. Had him dead to rights one way or the other there. And that'll be game. Thank you so much for watching. Both the match going to Blue-Black Mill. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. And as always, we'll catch you next week with more Modern Weekly. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week.